Hello friends, it's Sheepdog here, back from my trip to Idaho. You know, I was really close to Yellowstone and the Grand Teton Mountains. If you saw my last video, I was, probably within 25 miles of Yellowstone. Unfortunately, with the work I do and the products I take, they won't let me into the park. So I've been up in that area 3 times now, and yeah, I don't even try. I don't even try to get into Yellowstone anymore. They see that they see that big old skid or that big old box on the back of my truck, and they say no way. So one of these days, I'll make it in. But I picked up a little knife along the way. Went to a Walmart and to get supplies and stuff, and I can't go to Walmart without looking at the knives. And this one was on sale. It was on clearance, and I thought I would grab it. Everybody knows that logo, and this is a Paraframe Mini. Paraframe Mini. On the Gerber website, these things run about like $18, $19, and this was on sale for $9, so I would grab it. Now, I'm not sure, but I think the Paraframe is Gerber's #1 selling knife. You can get it in 8 different sizes now. What can I tell you more about this knife than probably anybody else has told you? But this does, it's so small. It doesn't have a thumb stud. It doesn't have any flipper. You literally have to open it like a regular knife, which is fine. This thing's so small, it's going to be a 3rd pocket knife when I carry it. But I have to say, it's pretty darn sharp right out of the box. You get it on their website or anywhere, it doesn't tell you what steel it is. There's speculation that it's 440A steel or an equivalent of. I mean, this is China made. It's a very budget knife, even for Gerber. But I like for a little 3rd pocket knife, it's fun. It's fun. Now, I don't know if I would ever. Yeah, if I got the larger size and in a price I want to pay, I'd probably grab another one. I mean, it's not a bad knife. It's a little three finger size. You're not gonna do heavy cutting with something this small. I mean, clean your fingernails. Open up mail. Open up boxes. Cut slices of cheese. Stuff like that. So it's not a heavy use knife. It's something that you'd grab just to do a quick task and throw it back in your pocket. The design is great. I think it's one of the better designs in modern day knives. All stainless steel. The cutouts make it a fairly light knife. But yeah, so it's got a frame lock. Let's see. Pretty much, yeah, it tends to go to that side of the show side of the knife a little bit, but it definitely doesn't touch. Got a little pretty strong pocket clip for something this small, so yeah. Like I said, it's got, it's a standard frame lock, or what can I say? I mean, saber grind, nice swedge on top, a good deep nail clip. Literally no play in any in the joints. I mean, it's a solid little knife. Pin, screw and pin construction. It's pretty sharp. I've read up on this, and it's one of those steels that they say you want to keep it sharp and not try to sharpen it after it's dull. So keep it maintained and it'll stay sharp. But if you let it get completely dull, it takes forever to sharpen it back up. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've read online. Lucky me, I enjoy sitting and sharpening knives. So if it takes me 10 minutes to sharpen a knife, or an hour to sharpen a knife, I don't got much to do when I get ready to sharpen my knives. I just sit down and do it. So it doesn't make any difference to me how long it takes. I can get pretty much any knife sharp, so I'm not worried too much about that. But it's a cool little knife, and if you want a decent little third pocket knife, Walmart has them on clearance now for $8, $7.99. So $8 will get you a handy little third pocket knife. It's maybe it's about the size of a peanut. Maybe a little bit longer than a peanut, but I'll be carrying this, on most of my EDCs. Throw it in the fifth pocket and get it going. So let's see. And later on is the lunar eclipse, so I'm probably gonna go out and check that out and have me a nice little cigar while I watch the lunar eclipse. This is a Sancho Panza original blend. So it's a light to medium body cigar. So I'll enjoy sitting in a nice cool evening watching the lunar eclipse and enjoy a little smoke. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And if you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up, and that's about all I have on this little knife. You know, I'll probably give you an update on what I think about it after I use it for a little while. Give you a little update on what I think about it. You know, how I like it, how I used it. You know, so give me about a month with it, and I'll give you a heads up on what I think about it. But I think it'll be a fun little knife to carry for a while. You know, so if you enjoyed my content, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.